Orion over here in the chat. Good luck, my son.
Oreo saying thank you, Dad.
Passing him the torch.
Exactly. Like they themselves are self-aware about like their kind of positions in the hierarchy of things and the history of StarCraft, the history of Australian StarCraft. So it's just really cool to see these two players face off again after such a long time.
And finally, Ling's claws, teeth, swords are about to clash here on Waterfall. Where, of course, in our top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in that top right-hand corner, we, of course, have the blue Zerg player coming out from the land of Brisbane, but now currently in exile in the land of Singapore. He, of course, is going to be representing himself as he is currently teamless. Give it up for Royan NXZ Jones.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall, we have the Australian Zerg player himself representing the CranKy Ducklings, going for the 12 pool. It is Oreo.
I told you that was that NXZ influence in him.
Yeah, we have a straight-up pool first coming in from Oreo. Meanwhile, from the side of NXZ, he did go for a hatch. Sorry, he did go for a pool into gas, into hatch, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Worker to be rallied over there, and finally it will land, but not before the 6 Lings of Oreo get on the map. Now 8 Lings.
Yeah, exactly. Bearing in mind we are on Waterfall, one of the smaller, the smallest map in the map pool. Not the shortest rush distance, but regardless, the Lings are going to be getting across the map relatively quickly as the pool does finish. So this is a really interesting opener here. The pool first signifies safety from NXZ, but the pool followed by gas means that I guess he wants to be aggressive after he defends. I'm not the most aggressive style because, again, like he doesn't have enough gas for Ling speed straight away. It's just interesting. I don't see this opener too often at all. Oh my god.
Okay, but yeah, he saw the Lings of his Overlord, so this makes a lot of sense. Very safe opener from NXZ as well, going for that pool gas. This will give Oreo so much trouble trying to chip away at this hatchery as well.
Yeah, the scariest thing right now is that Oreo doesn't know about the gas timing. He knows about the pool, clearly, and going pool first is a safety opener, and it makes plenty of sense. But if Oreo stays out on the map a little bit too long, and if he doesn't recognize how fast the gas was, then he will lose everything to Link speed.
Yeah, it's already about a quarter or a third of the way done right now for NXZ. Oreo they get a drone, I believe.
Yeah?
Yeah, they get a drone, so decent pick-off, but like you said, there's a very, very real risk of Oreo overextending a bit too much and losing his entire map presence. Yeah, maybe even losing the entire game, too.
As I say that, mate, every single Ling is going to go down, every single Queen as well. NXZ pulling the drones a little bit too early is going to leave himself vulnerable, bearing in mind that NXZ is going all in, by the way. Oreo is joining, NXZ is not.
Yeah, Baneling Nest is on the way right now for NXZ. This was all before... This was all before Ling speed finished up for NXZ as well, so I love what Oreo has been able to get done, but now it's NXZ's time to go for the attack.
That's the thing, Oreo needs to scout. He needs to recognize that there is zero droning going on right now. He checks natural base, he confirms that there is nothing here. He needs to see a little bit more. It looks like he will be denied, and then we go, Ling speed finishes.
Yeah, Oreo will at the very least confirm Ling speed, but like you said, Light, I don't think he is aware of the Baneling Nest. He is playing this out very, very safe regardless.
Yeah, he recognizes how early the gas was, so it's like, okay, if you have Ling speed, you're probably going to have a Baneling Nest. I have a Spine Crawler on the way. I'm completely giving up this hatchery, which is fine, because again, NXZ is all in, but NXZ is actually making some drones behind this.
Yeah, he's some in, as we like to call it. He would definitely not be making drones if he was more confident in his ability to close this out.
Yeah, nice target fire there. Both Banelings do go down. It looks like the Queens are going to get surrounded with the help of these things. It looks like Oreo will clean this up, but can he hold on to a second Queen? He barely will.
And nice transfuse right at the end there from the side of Oreo, but it's still a little bit vulnerable. The Spine Crawler will be landing, and there are a couple of Lings now available for Oreo, so Oreo will be able to deflect this. Things have kind of evened out for both players. Same base count, same worker count. NXZ going to be pulling a little bit ahead when it comes to the third hatch.
Yeah, third hatch is going to be on the way. Oreo does have an Overlord in position for this. Meanwhile, Oreo was at least able to hold on to his natural base. It would have been disastrous if he lost it because NXZ was droning. And Oreo, I love it. He's skipping the Baneling Nest. He's going straight into roaches.
Yeah, there's no no realistic way anyway for Oreo to really catch back up when it comes to the Baneling count, and it's going to be very, very taxing on his APM to try to snipe those Banelings with Lings as well. So going for the Roach Horn is a lot safer, I would say.
Definitely. Also, I was supposed to bring this up at the very beginning, but I did end up looking at Wikipedia, and I have confirmation. This is the first time that NXZ and Oreo are playing in a competitive setting, in the tournament, period.
Yo!
First time.
That's heartbreaking, man.
Again, it just goes to show, like, again, NXZ retired as Oreo was debuting, so, like, they missed each other a little bit, and, yeah, like, this is their first moment together.
All right, well, yeah, this is really good. This is really going to be the test or the exam in a way.
Here we go. The Roaches are pushing out across up. NXZ, what does he have to defend? He sees what is coming his way. He's throwing down a spine crawler. Mate, we need more than just one spine.
Yeah, he's hoping that he can get away with keeping that third hatchery alive, but he may have to end up giving it up. In the end, it might not really matter. The Baneling's only now being produced by NXZ, and he should be able to buy himself enough time to get them into the fight, but the Roaches have rocked up for Oreo.
The Roaches have rocked up, mate. The Roaches, they're pushing on in. The Banelings are going to be target fired one after the other. Only one survives.
And not for too much longer at that. Oreo keeping so many of his Lings alive. GG is called. Oreo going to be taking game number 1 in this best of 5 qualifying match.
Wow, GG, well played. Oreo does take the first game after deflecting against NXZ's like aggressive opener, again going pool into gas. But we saw how NXZ again fumbled a little bit in the very beginning, where he lost every single one of his Lings, and he lost his queen as well on the low ground when he had maybe underestimated the power of Oreo's micro.
Yeah, he gave up his map presence very, very early on. He wasn't able to capitalize on his earlier hatchery either, because he wasn't injecting out of it. Oreo caught up pretty quickly after that, and from then on, Oreo just needed to react to whatever NXZ was doing, and he reacted correctly.
Yeah,
every single time.
It was a really smart choice to go into Roaches the way that he did, because he knew that NXZ would be vulnerable right now, because again, it took him a long time to actually get drones up and running, and the Banelings that he invested in never really paid for themselves, so there's just so much gas being set aside and not really paying off in the end. So yeah, just very methodical play out of Oreo.
I'll see if that continues here. Well, it was a little bit surprising to see Oreo being the one to go 12 pool instead of NXZ, but the gloves are off now, man. Now that NXZ knows how cheesy Oreo can be, I think we're going to see a very different side of Roy and NXZ Jones.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, and it looks like we are going to be getting our map ready for our next game. Just making sure we have at least WCS game hearts, so we don't have to count. We appreciate that.
Yeah, counting is bad for math, or for brains. Math is bad for the brain.
Yeah, I'm also really curious how the vetoes turned out here, especially because it's a best of 5. Bear that in mind. So they only got 1 veto each.
Yeah, Waterfall probably made it through.
Probably.
What would you veto as in a ZvZ? Like,
I would imagine at least Stargazers. Actually,
maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least Stargazers, but in a ZvZ you actually can't really make use of that pocket base too quickly like the other races.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to mine that all out and be able to get that hatchery up and running.
Maybe Moondance if you're afraid. Like,
yeah.
At least Moondance, I would say.
If you're afraid of the rush distance, and there's definitely reason to be afraid of that rush distance when you're up against Oreo or NXZ.
Definitely. Boy, it looks like we're going to be getting into game number 2. I love it. Shout out to Asher in the chat. CranKy Ducklings too strong. Let's go.
Let us go indeed. Inside, but also out. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in that top right-hand corner. We have our blue Zerg player, originally from the land of Brisbane, but now exiled in the land of Singapore, getting 12 fool again. He is representing himself, Ryan NXZ Jones.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the Australian Zerg player himself representing the CranKy Ducklings. Going for that 12 pool, it is Oreo.
What's that old saying? If it ain't broke, why break it?
Yeah, you know, Oreo was able to take the win in game 1 using that 12 pool. Why not do it again? Meanwhile, NXZ likewise going for a, I believe that was a pool gas. Am I crazy? Or was it a gas pool?
It was a pool. It was a pool gas.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a very quick gas at that. And I'm not really surprised that NXZ is going for this once again, because firstly, you're not going to be expecting your opponent to be going 12 pool 2 games in a row, at least not typically. And secondly, he was defending the 12 pool aggression from Oreo very, very well until he pulled his drones away.
Yeah, exactly. So this is interesting. So for those wondering, this is the exact same openers facing off against each other 2 games in a row. Of course, the rush distance on Waterfall is shorter than that of Inside and Out, so that did favor the aggressor in Oreo to begin with, as the Overlords of NXZ is going to confirm all these things coming across the map, and Oreo is going to recognize, same build.
Same build, same response. Actually, a little bit of a different response here from Oreo, playing it out a little bit safer.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take too many hits to his links. He's going to be very careful with this. Once again, the boys are being pulled towards the low ground, so NXZ will have a little bit of extra firepower here as he does force this a little bit back. Bearing in mind that here in game number 2, I believe we are going to be switching servers because we are alternating between Singapore and Australia, and here Oreo has the ping advantage. Am I crazy?
He does, doesn't he? He should... Well, he should have the ping advantage since he's in Australia, but who knows? It's Australian internet we're talking about.
True. It does drop like drop bears, as NXZ this time is going to be able to hold. This time he actually overmade Lings, or he made additional Lings, and of course, as you were saying, he also kept his drones here at the natural base, so taking this very seriously.
And just like that, we see Oreo has droned up quite a bit. He didn't delay his natural hatchery by too much, but this is still very worrisome for Oreo. Link speed is about to finish up. NXZ is already taking a bit of a victory in the middle of the map, and I don't think he's going to stop holding down that Z key once he sees how wide open this natural is.
So basically, we're seeing NXZ's build actually come to fruition without any hiccups. We did see that Oreo was able to scout with his 2 Lings, and he's responding in kind, but this time Oreo has lost basically every single one of his Lings.
And now there's basically nothing defending this natural hatchery. There's 3 queens, and they're trying their best to provide a bit of a body block here. They are preventing the Lings from getting on top of the natural for a little while, but they cannot prevent the Lings from getting on top of them at all. Every single queen is going to go down, and so will these drones.
Yeah, and it looks like this is just too much damage. The drones are falling left and right. The damage is very, very real. NXZ showing us why he went for this build in game number 1. Once he can defend, once he's able to snowball with those things, he gets out of control. Look at that drone count.
13 of them going down. Oh, unfortunate little body blocking there from the queen. Unable to borrow his spine. GG is called. NXZ takes game number 2. Ties us up sideways 1-1.
Oh, GG. We are tied up 1-1 again, and it's pretty interesting how NXZ was able to adapt to Oreo after that first game, where everything went right for Oreo in game number 1, getting the queen, getting all those Lings. NXZ recognized his mistakes very quickly. He adapted, and he was able to execute his builds almost flawlessly there. Wow, that just goes to show the experience of NXZ.
Really, yeah. Very much so. And I have a feeling that in game number 3, Oreo's not going to go for another 12 pool.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? We have to kind of... This is where the mind games come in. NXZ, he's done the same build 2 games in a row. Same can be said for Oreo. It's a bit of a game of chicken. Who is going to switch first? And can they anticipate what the other is going to be doing as well?
I'm going to say no.
To both?
Yes.
So they're not going to know what each other's doing, and they're also not going to change.
Yeah.
Okay. But like again, this is like where the metagaming and where the mind games come in, right? Like if someone can successfully assume, okay, this is when you're gonna 13-12, or this is when you're gonna 12 pool, or to this game I feel safe enough to hatch first, right, or something like that. You know, there can be certain counters where some player has an advantage over another. Yeah, that's the craziness of ZvZ and how intense it can be.
Yeah. I got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Even speaking in their native language.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Brisbanean.
As we are going to be loading into game number 2 again. So far, a very fast series. We are tied up 1-1, and it's very difficult to kind of anticipate where this series is going to go, especially if they just keep going for these same openers.
Yeah. Well, then again, if they do go for the same openers, then we can at least get a little bit of an idea of how that's going to go. But we are going to continue. Hey, no 12 pool so far.
Ooh.
Continue our series now on Data Under the Sea. In the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in that top right-hand corner, we have our Blue Zerg player coming out from the land of... originally from Brisbane, but now in Monkey Town, Singapore. He is, of course, going to be representing himself, Ryan NXZ Jones.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have the Australian Zerg player himself representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Oreo.
Actually a hatch first this time from the side of Oreo.
Interesting. So Oreo is going for the standard hatch first. NXZ did go for a pool followed by gas. I believe it's 17-17. So yeah, NXZ going for the exact same build, exact same opener that he has this entire series.
Yeah, may as well. I mean, it still is pretty strong built regardless, even if Oreo is going... even if Oreo is opening up a little bit economically like this. Data C is a bit of a safer map to get a hatch first on.
Yeah, it really is. You know, the rush distance is longer, it's a lot more defensible. We have the ramp going into the natural base. It's going to be about whether Oreo can recognize this build in time and whether he knows the correct response against it. I'm sure he does. It's just all about, you know, piecing everything together.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit difficult to do with Lings when your opponent already has Lings on the map preventing that scout, but there's nothing stopping this Overlord from getting into position.
Yeah, the Overlord dips on in, does confirm the natural base, does confirm the timing, so Oreo is at least aware of the pool first opener. He's going to need to try and send a couple of links over later on to recognize the lack of drones and the addition of the Bailey Nest, if that's what NXZ decides to do.
Yeah, it's interesting to see from NXZ. In game number 1, he did commit to that Bailey Nest because, of course, he knew he had to deal with the Lings of Oreo. In game number 2, he gained a little bit of momentum, so he just canceled the Baneling Nest and held down his Z key to get even more Lings to fled to the base. This time, in a bit more of a standard game and in a bit more of a standard opening from his opponent, what does he go for?
Yeah, and this is interesting. So NXZ did pull out of gas, by the way, so he only has one gas. Okay, he's pulling back into gas right now, but he opts to go for a faster hatchery. He doesn't go for an early Bailey Nest. He is droning up.
Interesting response.
Yeah, so despite the opener for NXZ, it is just for safety, as in he will just get a faster link speed, but he's trying to transition a little bit faster. Again, a little bit of mind games, trying to psych Oreo out. Oreo does confirm the third base, and Oreo, he is going for his own link flood.
Yeah, he knows just how exposed the third base is. He knows just how greedy NXZ has opened things up. Baneling, that's not even done yet for NXZ. Whereas Oreo already has 6 Banelings on the way to delete any Lings.
Mate, NXZ
could be sending here to defend.
He's being punished right now for not having his Overlord over his third base. Like, he has no idea that Banelings are on the way. He has no idea how much danger he is in. As the Queens are out of position, they're off creep.
And they will immediately get surrounded here. NXZ trying to snipe these Banelings, and he does get a couple of them, but finally the Queens have gone down. The Ling reinforcements are coming in. NXZ immediately calls GG. Oreo takes that game this series so far has not even been 20 minutes long, but Oreo finds himself a match point.
Let's go.
I don't think it's even been 15 minutes long.
It hasn't.
As a matter of fact.
I don't even know if the upper qualifying match is ready yet. Oh my god.
Oh man.
It's been
Welcome to Brisbane.
Welcome to Brisbane, mate. It's been insane. Oreo being able to take that game again. It was on, and NXZ was not scouting whatsoever. He, unlike Oreo, he wasn't sending a couple of links across the map. He wasn't going into the mineral line. He wasn't going towards the natural. He wasn't keeping an eye on the drone count. He was too preoccupied on what he was doing. He was like, you know, I'm doing like. He was more concerned with mind gaming his opponent than actually scouting to see what his opponent was doing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't mind game your opponent when. Where am I going with this?
I like how you stopped yourself because you're like, I don't want to say anything bad about my boy. Shaking my head, Yaku. But regardless, GG, well played. Oreo will take a lead in the series. But again, it's just been a really quick series, and it's just been so dynamic and back and forth, and this could still go to the ace match.
Yeah. But you know, we are a match point, so I'm gonna pop a Ricola into my mouth. The last one that I have in this box.
Go for it.
If we do go to the ace match, should I do the Ryan intro again?
That's up to you, mate. That's up to you. Oh, God. As we are getting into our next game, also a massive shout out to Ranger in the chat, the best player in all of Malaysia, the best Protoss player in all of Southeast Asia as well. Thank you so much for the raid. We hope you enjoyed your ladder stream. Much love to Ranger. Check him out. He's a great player in his own right. Oh, as we are continuing our qualifying match.
Yeah, Ranger being very active in this past couple of weeks, streaming and laddering a lot in the KR server as well. I wouldn't be too surprised if he makes it to their finals this season of DreamHack Atlanta OCE. But it's enough about Malaysia coming in right now. It's a little too far north up in there. It's like north to Singapore as well. And that's north enough for me. We are going to be continuing on in the tropics. It's where Malaysia's at, on Tropical Sacrifice. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way here. In the top right-hand corner, going for the gas pool. Gas 12 pool. He is the 1312 blue Zerg player coming out originally from Brisbane, but now here in Morgantown, Singapore. He is representing himself as he is currently tailless. He is Ryan NXZ Jones. And now spawning in here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand. The red Zerg player coming out, the current king of Brisbane. He is the wrist of Voltron himself, representing our own team, the CranKy Ducklings. That's a quack and a quack for you. He is Oreo. Uh-oh.
Thank you for that, Yaku. Thank you for that. It is indeed Oreo, and he is indeed going up against a 13-12 with a hatch first opener. Oh boy, we'll see how solid Oreo's defenses are going to be. We'll see how long it's been since he has played against this build. NXZ ramping up the aggression. Oh my god.
That's Baneling nest, I imagine. Yep. Be thrown down. It would be absolutely insane if you saw a roach rush, but NXZ still is a little bit sane.
Yes, he's even sneaking a couple of lings across the map as well, so Oreo is none the wiser with his overlords. The lings of NXZ are being banked up back at home. He is waiting for the opportune moments. The overlord is finally going to check and confirm. Hold up, you don't have a hatchery. This is a 13-12.
There's a lot of lings coming my way. Oreo cannot cancel his hatchery, but he is getting a bunch of queens. He's evacuating his drones as well. He's trying to make sure he can get as safe of a body block on his ramp as possible. He is not skipping out on any of his defenses, and that's why we see a spine crawler being made.
Oh yeah, spine crawler is on the way in that mineral line. We actually see Oreo try and dive on top of some of these lings. They do confirm that okay, banelings are on the way as well. He's fully aware of the opener, but now he will lose some of these things in the process, or will he?
Yeah, we're on creep right now, and Oreo, sorry, with that defensive advantage, gets a little bit of a cheeky flank up on top of some of those lings from NXZ, but now his ling count has been completely depleted. So is the ling count of NXZ, however.
Yeah, but we do have plenty of reinforcements coming across now. We still have a couple of banelings in the backline. There was a juicy connection on the lings of Oreo, so because that Oreo will not, or it is very unlikely that he's going to be able to hold on to his natural.
Yeah, he's trying to bait these lings into whatever he can, into spine crawler range, but the banelings do not take the bait. Oreo will lose his hatchery, which is fine for now, but this does give NXZ a little bit of a leg up when it comes to the economy.
Yeah, there's a couple of things going on right now as it looks like, one baneling almost goes down. One more shot, Buffy, one more shot is all we need, and there we go. We do have the focus fire on both said banelings. The spine does come down, but it hasn't burrowed.
Oh, the body blocking from the lings of NXZ has been absolutely invaluable. One queen will go down, and as well as most of the lings of Oreo. He may be forced to pull the boys, and that's exactly what he does.
He does end up losing one of his drones in the process. We can't afford to lose any workers right now. Oreo, upon losing that drone, NXZ now takes a worker lead.
Now taking an even further worker lead with a second drone falling.
Exactly. Honestly, like, this damage has been okay here for NXZ. Oreo could afford to lose the hatchery, but again, NXZ very quick to throw down his own, so he's going to be ahead in the bases. He's going to be ahead in the drones. We're equal in tech.
And I guess the game is kind of reset from there, funnily enough.
Yeah. I mean, Oreo does have to come back. He does have Ling Bane at his own disposal, so if his micro is good enough, he can out-trade and maybe try and equalize. Up!
As a reminder, this match is being played on the Australia server, so Oreo does have that little ping advantage, a slight ping advantage there. This one baneling has wallowed through so much.
Yeah, it is going to be able to waddle on through, but a queen is going to be able to focus it down in the end. Oreo going to be forced to back on up, throwing away one of those banelings. Aye. He at least has that spine crawler defensively, and he has a couple of banelings on the way, but they're not ready.
Yeah, at the same time, there aren't quite enough lings just yet for NXZ to really push this through. Oreo repositioning his spine. This may be the unluckiest spine repositioning timing that I can think of in recent memory. The banelings do cancel each other out, and NXZ's momentum has been halted for the time being.
Yeah, it has been halted. That was 4 Banes for 4 Banes. In the end, Oreo is going to be able to regain control of his natural base. His hatchery has now finished up, and we can get into a bit of a longer game, but again, NXZ still has that worker lead.
Yeah, and he's looking to maintain that further and further and further. He is doing a pretty good job of containing Oreo on 2 bases for now. And that's at third base, being thrown down by NXZ. Yeah,
just getting further ahead in the economy. Oreo may be forced to go for some kind of weird 2-base all-in. He's got options available to him, right? He go, as the baneling does get wasted, he can go into a faster lair. He can go straight into roaches. I mean, I say straight into roaches, but he already has a baneling nest. He can kind of tech up in a bit of a different way to try and get back into this. Meanwhile, also a special shout out to Estrella, another Protoss player. Thank you so much, Max Angel, for the raid.
Yes, we appreciate it a lot. I'm not sure if you're aware of the meme we have for you on this channel, and I'm not sure if it's a good idea.
Now is not the time, Yaku. It's not the time.
Yes.
Oh my god. But yes, thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying your time in the land of Korea as we are here in DreamHack Oceania in a qualifying match. Best of 5. Oreo is 1 game away, but did have a bit of a rough opener here against the 13-12 of NXZ. We do see NXZ just taking on up. He does already have his roach run. Roaches are now being pumped out.
At a much faster rate than Oreo's roaches. But he is taking in that same direction as well. I was kind of in agreement with you, Light. I definitely thought that 2-base Muta was a really good way for Oreo to try to get ahead and try to make up for his worker and economic deficit, but instead we are seeing him playing it out a little bit safer with those roaches.
Yeah, roaches are on the way. Oreo is going for a bit of a stronger 1-1 timing here, but +1 carapace is going to finish up sooner here for NXZ, and he can push out across the map. We do see that he isn't droning any further from here. Roaches are on the way, lings are on the way as well. NXZ is going to be pushing out.
Yeah, Oreo needs to scout this now. He needs to cut his drones, and he will see the roach move out. How much larva and how much minerals does he have to work off of, though?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Oreo was able to take a lead in those workers, but he needs spines, and he now recognizes the danger that he's in. A second spine crawler is on the way. He already has the first one from the early game, but this may not be enough.
He does have a full wall off over here. The roaches are getting on top of everything. The spine crawler will go down. And the second spine is not long for this world. The banelings connect on so many drones. And it's actually not as far ahead as I thought he would be, but I guess that's a bit of a moot point now, because the Lings and the Roaches of Old Mate Royan are getting on top of everything that Oreo has. GG, we're going into that ace match.
GG gets called. We are going all the way to game number 5. NXZ, again, able to take a great lead after his opening 13-12. Would never let go of that drone lead. And despite maybe not trading so well with his banelings after that, like, he had a very strong timing with +1 carapace, just going for a Roach Ling Flood. And Oreo did see it coming, but again, a little bit too late.
Yeah, if that second spine crawler was there in that engagement, I can see where Oreo holds. If he got the full wall off a little bit earlier, again, I could see Oreo holding and then maybe going for a counterattack from there, but chose not to be in the end. And with that, we are going to our ace match. One map, un momento por favor, to conclude once and for all who is going to be the king of Brisbane. I do want to point this out though. Oreo has won the games on Singapore. NXZ has won the games on Australia. And we're going back to Singapore.
We are going back to Singapore. NXZ is going to have that ping advantage. And I'm a little bit shocked. I guess Stargazers was vetoed, as the map that we're going to be playing on is Moondance.
Stargazers and Cosmic Sapphire. I mean, Cosmic Sapphire, I guess, makes sense.
Yeah.
Very wide open map and a lot of choke points as well.
Definitely. Oh boy, so I think we're going to be getting into another aggressive game, mates. NXZ, he hasn't gone for a single hatch first this entire series.
Would now be the time? Because it's the last thing that Oreo's going to expect.
That doesn't make it good, though. It doesn't make it good.
No, but who's to say what really is good here is, we conclude, or best of 5 qualifying ZvZ over here on Moondance. It is the good old Brisbane Bowl coming down as we put the Barbies on the Brisbane. I don't know. In the top left-hand corner of the map, swanning all the way over here. In the top left-hand corner, we have the exiled king himself, the Blue Zerg player, representing himself all the way in the land of Singapore, exiled from his home kingdom of Brisbane. He is Royan NXZ Jones.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance. Oh my god, getting mind gamed right now. We have the Australian Zerg player himself representing the CranKy Ducklings, going for the pool first. It is Oreo. Because NXZ is crazy, and he goes hatch first.
Oh. This is going to come back to bite him, or will it? This is a very short rush distance map, Moondance.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is good for NXZ. I mean, that's what I mean when Oreo kind of fell for the mind game. So Oreo goes for a pool hatch gas opener. Very safe, not very aggressive at all. I'm sure he's going to be making some lings, but the likelihood of those lings dealing damage isn't very high. NXZ goes for a hatch gas pool, much more economic. And yeah, I think Oreo was just anticipating another earlier pool from Ryan.
Yeah, he's making a couple of safety links now, but like you said, there's nothing to safeguard for the time being, or he's going to have to make use of them across the map, and I'm not entirely convinced he's going to be able to.
Yeah, exactly. It's only going to be 6 links behind this. Oreo is going to continue to drone. He's going to be behind when it comes to the overall gas count because of the opener. And these lings, if they can maybe pick off a drone, but NXZ is wise so that he isn't sending anything down towards the low ground. Instead, Oreo goes all the way into the main just to try and get some damage done.
Yeah, and so far, NXZ doing a really good job of preventing that. Nice little Sim City that he set up with his spawning pool, and Oreo is going to have to be content with 0 damage.
Yeah. A couple of little nice micro tricks. I really appreciate that NXZ, I don't know if you noticed, but he actually made his Overlord on the low ground, which meant that if that larva had been a drone, then it would have just gotten surrounded and killed. But because it was an Overlord, like, NXZ was able to get away with that. And again, these links from the pool first have done nothing.
Yeah, we'll see what Oreo decides to do with them from here. He gets a very, very, very early lair. Show me the gas count.
Oh. So a couple of important things. Oreo, in that early lair, he skipped link speed. Went straight for that lair. We've got options, mate. We've got fast Mota, as you were saying. We have a a Nidus all in. We have a Roach all in as well. We got options available to Oreo.
Walling.
He is walling off.
That's a sign. Nice still delay here on the third. Oh, can he get the drone? He cannot quite get the drone. But did a pretty good job of delaying that third base regardless. +1 range is now being researched by Oreo.
Yes, it is. So it looks like he is going to be hitting a Roach timing here. He is only just now taking his gases. Going to be 3 in total. Going to be taking his third hatchery as well. It is the pocket base, so I imagine this is mainly going to be for lair, as he is going to look to hit that +1 timing.
Yeah, Legacy is going to be committing to Roaches from here with Galawi Constitution. NXZ obviously sees that researching. That's enough of a tell. That should be enough for the alarm bells to be ringing in his head.
Yeah, like NXZ, like he now realizes how fast lair is without scouting it. He's like, okay, there's only one way to research that. It's if you have that lair. It could be a fake out. There could still be a spy behind this, and Oreo could just be, you know, trying to disguise this as a Roach push. So NXZ has to confirm. He has to make sure that nothing crazy is going on.
And now he will.
Yeah, with that Overseer, he's going to be able to get into the main base with the Changeling as well. He's going to get an eye on... Oh, the Changeling does get sniped.
A nice little target firing coming down there from the side of Oreo. Queen is getting a little bit low. That's a high energy Queen as well. So it's possible you want to keep it alive, but Oreo does not keep it alive. Now is the time for vengeance.
Yeah, a little bit of a misstep there by Oreo, losing that high energy Queen. Aye. But the Roaches are coming out. 1-1 is on the way. I'm curious to see when Oreo decides to stop droning, as he is going to go for a bit of a Maynard in towards that pocket base.
Yeah, and NXZ will confirm this as well. He knows full well that, you know, Oreo has been spending this time droning up, but should not be making another drone for quite some time at the very least.
Yeah, Oreo is going to be that much more committed just because he has less minerals and less gas to work with here with his own 3 bases. NXZ was a little bit greedier, and he has gotten away with that greed. NXZ also, recognizing the danger that he's in, does pump into, or does start transitioning into a more Roach heavy army, and Oreo, he can't really do anything yet, not until his +2 upgrade finishes.
Yeah, +2 or at the very least +1 carapace. You know, it's not as consequential as an upgrade. Very nice pickup here from NXZ. Oreo poking around a little bit, trying to see what he could get away with, and the answer is nothing at all.
Oh my god, this is not ideal. He's going to get a couple of drones here at the natural, which is nice, but there's a little bit of miscontrol, and this is triggering a massive counterattack by NXZ. Oreo, he's trying to throw down as many spines as he can.
This may just end it.
Got a major send at Oreo. He's going to lose his Roach Warren. He's trying to get a second Roach Warren up and running, but now he can't make any Roaches.
Yeah, he just needs to make sure he trades as efficiently as possible and kills as many Roaches in NXZ as possible without losing too many of his own. His Lings, by the way, are completely vanilla. They will have +1 carapace, but they have no speed, they have no melee upgrades. Look at that supply difference as NXZ just takes a fantastic engagement.
Yeah, exactly. And again, Oreo is saving his larva for Roaches. He's being very greedy right now. Can he pull it off? +1 carapace did finish. +2 range will not complete, as it does get denied.
Things are getting rougher and rougher and rougher here for Oreo. He does remake that Roach Warren. Can he remake Roaches? 16 are on the way, but 16 need to be out right now.
Yeah, exactly. They're not here yet. Sniping that Roach Warren was so massive for NXZ. Drones are falling left and right, and NXZ is breaking through.
I think he's gonna do it.
He is going to do it. Finally, the reinforcements for Oreo are coming up. It's a little bit too late. The damage has been done. 9 drones have already gone down.
And there's a lot more where that came from. NXZ, he smells blood in the water. He knows that he can end the game right now. He is not making a single drone at all from here on out.
Yeah, exactly.
Continuing to hold down that R key.
And there's just no way for NXZ to lose this lead. Like, sure, Oreo's going to be able to clean this up and force this out, but NXZ has a good economy behind this. He can just keep on pumping out roaches. He can keep going for injects. His macro just has not slipped.
NXZ's +2 range, by the way, finished up quicker than Oreo, so it was a very unfortunate snipe on the Evo chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Very unfortunate indeed. And now Oreo is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He basically has to go all in from this point. But like, how do you go all in against a player who just has more supply?
You pray that they go AFK for some reason. And just don't keep your hands completely off the keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. This is how brutal mirror matchups can be. You know, your opponent takes a lead in the early game by going for a hatch first, and suddenly you are behind. Suddenly you're playing catch up, and NXZ, he's just going to maintain, hold on to that lead. He's breaking on through once again.
Yeah, beautiful concave coming out here from NXZ. A couple of Ravagers trying to be morphed in to get a little bit of an advantage here, but it is not at all going to make up for the supply deficit that Oreo has. GG is called, and NXZ, Royan Jones himself, mate. Yes, Roy. He is going to be qualifying for the DreamHack Atlanta, Oceania, and Southeast rest of Asia closed qualifiers tomorrow. This means he can return home.
GG, well played. Congratulations to NXZ. Well won in the end. He did kind of win out when it came to the mind games, when it came to the opener. NXZ going for the hatch first for the very first time in the entire series in the ace match. He's crazy. But also at the same time, I do think there was a little bit of a ping issue. If you remember in the very beginning when Oreo pushed out with his roaches, it did take him like a second or like half a second to respond with his roaches, and he lost a lot early on. He lost like 2 roaches when he went for a counterattack, and he also misclicked, and when he sent roaches towards the natural, like they weren't immediately targeting down drones either. And that just like triggered a massive counterattack, that triggered a massive snowball effect onto Oreo. Oh boy. But you know, like, congratulations to NXZ. Like, he does end up coming out here, he does return to the game, and he has reclaimed his throne.
Yeah, he's not only carrying that Brisbane banner, he is sitting on that Brisbane throne as well. We'll be sad to see him leave, but yeah, he has to reclaim the birthright.
Yeah, he does. GG, well played. Congratulations to NXZ. My heart goes out to Oreo. You know, I guess this is not our timeline. He is, you know, I have a lot of love for him.
And
He's
the plot armor was finally broken.
The plot armor was finally broken. He came so close, and again, like, even making it here to the qualifying match was insane. We were talking about it before, but no one really expected him to take down Demi. No one thought that he could take down Demi. And the fact that he did was, again, just insane. It just goes to show, like, how much skill, I guess, he was able to retain.
Yeah, it was an incredibly stacked bracket here, especially in the bottom half. And making it to the qualifying match in the first place is definitely not something to scoff at. We meme about it a lot, but this may prove that, you know, sometimes it takes more than, when you're coming back into the game, sometimes it takes more than a week of practice before you're, you know, back at what you used to be at.
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. Not Starduck's case.
Oh, God. GG, well played. Yeah, Starduck is going to be there at least. And again, we were talking about before, like, even if Oreo didn't make it through to the closed qualifier, like, we're so proud of him. We're so proud of how far he has come, despite not having too much practice after returning to the game. I'm sure he didn't really have much expectations for himself coming into this qualifier. So, like, again, it's not like he lost anything. And, you know, maybe this just motivates him even harder to practice and get ready for ANZ Champs.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm hoping for here. Unfortunately, education has to get in the way of esports. Hopefully it doesn't for the next couple of months, but yeah, if all things go to plan, and I totally see Oreo going a lot further in these brackets, maybe potentially make it into a finals of the main event. But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see, we'll see. It's all up to Oreo whether or not he wants to again prepare and take NXZ champ seriously. In the coming weeks, But until then, again, massive shout out to NXZ. It was amazing to see him return to competitive play after such a longer hiatus than Oreo, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to see him come back. Unfortunately, NXZ cannot play in NXZ Champs because he doesn't live in Australia anymore. He did move to Singapore, so he won't be able to play in that tournament. But at least we get to see more of him here in DreamHack.
And you know what that means?
What does that mean?
We get one Brisbanean each.
What?
One Brisbanean for DreamHack Atlanta, or potentially two.
Potentially two.
As Azure versus Zane is still going on, and we get at least one, and potentially two for NXZ champs.
There you go. There you go. Potentially two. If you want to tune in to the other qualifying match, that is Zane versus Azure. That is currently going on Renegade's channel. And we will give Renegade a bit of a raid from here. So make sure you give them your love and support as they are covering that series.
That they are in. Oh! It's actually a match point right now.
Oh! Who's on match point?
Old mate Krug.
Wait, really? Oh my god! That's crazy!
The Harpoon Brisbane popping off tonight.
Wow, there's just something about Brisbane, mate. Something about it. So yeah, GG will play. Thank you so much, everyone. For oh my god, Azure's up 2-0. Jesus Christ, that is insane.
Really is.
I was not expecting that at all, but yeah, wow. So Australia really popping off in these qualifiers. Started qualifying last night. Of course, Raza did make it through last night as well, but yeah, I'm really impressed by Azure.
As am I. The one player who never, the one Terran player anyway, who never race switched, who never game switched either. He's popping off tonight, and I really, really, really would be excited to see that that practice paying off.
Yeah, I look forward to it as well. I do look forward to it. Oh boy. Meanwhile, again, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much Ranger and Estrella for the raids. I do apologize because I know a lot of people from those streams are probably Protoss. I did see some comments in the chat being like, hold on, why do we have a ZvZ? So I apologize. I know
it's a wrong qualifying match. Yeah.
I know a lot of Protoss players came in. I hope you enjoyed your time here though, as we are wrapping up our broadcast of the Oceania qualifiers. But we'll be back in a couple of hours with Taiwan, Hong Kong.
Yes, in just about a little over 2 hours is when that happens. And then, of course, once we conclude that, there is a WTL match tonight for the CranKy Ducklings, Duck versus Camel.
Oh my god,
it's gonna be amazing.
I'm dying, Yaku. Oh my god, like our usual coverage of DreamHack is fine, where we're casting like 2-3 broadcasts a day, but now this season we're adding WTL on top of that, and it's becoming a bit much, mate. Oh my god.
I made the potential mistake of staying up last night to watch a WTL match. I may or may not have gone to bed at 5 a.m.
Yeah, same.
Or 8 a.m. for you.
Yeah, I said it before. Yeah, I said it before. I do apologize for not covering. I did see a Pocket Mike show up in the chat earlier. I apologize for not casting the DreamHack qualifiers this morning, but I also had to sleep because we've just been covering so much StarCraft recently and casting so much. We have to sleep at some point, and something has to suffer as a result. And today it was DreamHack Latin America. So I do apologize for that. I definitely apologize. But we're going to do our best to cover everything else, and especially the closed qualifiers, which is starting tomorrow.
Yes. Or even tonight.
True.
I'm in Hong Kong.
So with that, thank you so much for watching. Yaku, do you want to let the people know who are you and where can they find more of you?
I want to keep that hidden. Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. I probably won't be streaming in September. I might do a couple of short streams in October, but I'm definitely not streaming in November. No promises to nothing. Twitter.com @mporeyakuzaku. ! Discord in the chat. I'm there. Light is there. Babylings is there, Stream Elements is there, Fubi is there, Kuro is there, Ranger is there. Everyone's there, mate. We're trying to figure out who is who in the body parts of Voltron in there.
There you go. There you
It's
go.
a good time.
You can become a part of our Discord. Again, thank you so much to Tonasu as well for adminning.
Yep.
He's the lovely ESL Australian admin for today's tournament. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be able to have this event at all. I imagine he does a great job. And I know after this qualifier, he's going to be busy seeding and getting the brackets ready for the closed qualifier tomorrow.
Yeah, there's really not... With how it's all scheduled, there's really not that much time between finishing up the open qualifiers and going straight to the closed qualifiers, but we absolutely appreciate Tonasu, seeding that as quickly as possible, so our players do have a little bit of time to prepare for that.
Definitely. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. Again, if you want to tune into more of the Ducklings, we're going to be back in 2 hours with the Taiwan-Hong Kong closed qualifiers, and we will also be back in 5 hours with World Team League. So we're going to have a back-to-back broadcast. Taiwan-Hong Kong straight into the World Team League. We are playing against a Chinese team, so plenty of StarCraft tonight. And then tomorrow morning is going to be the North American closed qualifier. God. So much.
Still.
I know, so much StarCraft. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We are going to give Renegade X Studios a raid as they are covering the second qualifying match. So give them some love, give them some support, and check out Azure versus Zay.
It's gonna be a fun time. Bye.
Ciao.
Bella.